Today I'm going to be taking some data from my assessments and I'm going to put it into an Excel spreadsheet and modify the Excel spreadsheet so that it can compare two tests that my students have taken so that I can keep track of their ongoing grades and how they're doing, and so I can better help them. So we're going into topic 9 test, and I'm going to go to the very bottom where it says custom report. And in custom report I'm going to change it so it says topic 9 just so I can keep in comparison with the topic 10 that I did earlier. And all I'm going to get rid of is the mastered part of this report column, and I'm going to build my report. It automatically builds a report in categories for me, and what I want to do is take it and automatically place it in an Excel spreadsheet. So that's what it's going to do for me automatically. So when I go to my Excel, it should be in there under data, and there it is. What I want to do now is I want to delete some information that I don't need. I don't need the child's middle name, and I don't need their last name. I know them all by their name. I'm going to keep their first name. I'm going to enlarge the column by just taking that bar, and once I get the little crosshairs on it, move it over. And I'm going to keep their student ID, and I'm going to move it over too. As you saw, when I wanted to delete a column, I click on the column when I have the arrow, and then I right click on it and I click delete. I want to keep all of these columns except for this one. This one tells if they mastered it, and I can tell by the grade if they mastered it, so I'm going to delete that column as well. What I want to be able to do now is increase the size of this row so that I can then have these 3 columns have the titles in a better format. So I'm going to highlight all 3 of those titles, right click, go to format cells. I'm going to wrap text and say OK, and see if I can just make it a little larger so it fits in, and then increase the size of each of these by just doing that same thing that I did for their name. And I'm going to make it a little bigger. So now I know topic 10 test and what they have in their topic 10 test and their grades. I don't like to grade so close to the words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole column by clicking on it, and I'm going to go right back up here and I'm going to center it. So now I can see the grades that they've gotten. And the points they've gotten. Here's the actual performance bands, the levels that they've had, whether they're proficient, the advanced, and they give a number for that. So I'm going to make that also having centered. I like it centered, easier on my eyes to see. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I don't mind that it's actually in the left column, so I think I'm going to leave that the way it is. What I'd like to be able to do is I'd like to be able to get the same performance bands for my topic test 9. So I'm going to see if I can go over here to get that. Since I downloaded it into Excel, it's opening right now. I'm going to go there and I'm going to see data 2. It has these same exact columns as I had before. What I want to do is I want to cut the scores of these 3 areas. And I'm going to copy them just so I know that I have them and I keep them in the right place. And I'm going to put them in here, these 3 areas. And I'm going to paste them in here. I need to go back and I need to make sure that I also wrap text for these so I can see the actual description of them. So now I have the grades and the proficiency. I had to move and rearrange these 2 pieces of data because when I cut and pasted it into the document, I realized that I had some children that were absent and I needed to make sure that I didn't misplace their data or transpose actually putting this child's data into this category. That wouldn't work out very well. That would give insufficient information. Now what I want to do is I want to make an average, a student average. So I've titled my column and it's wrapped, and what I want to do is I want to put the equal sign in and then type in the word average, and then I want to open my parentheses and I want to take the total percentage here and the total percentage here. So I'm clicking on that one, and I'm going to put a comma in, then I'm going to click on this one. And I'm going to close my parentheses. And I'm going to... So now I'd like to make my average and drag it down this way so that every other column gets their average added in automatically. And to do that, you put your mouse, so it makes a plus sign, right on the bottom right-hand corner of the last data I just put in, and I click and I drag it down, and what it does is it's going to fill in a code for each one of those. So this one will be the average for this number and this number, and it will go all the way down the end. So it gives me the class average, and I know what these children are doing and what children need help. And I can put in and fill in for each of the other topic tests as we go along. I hope that helps you to see that in Excel you can extend your columns, make them larger. You can wrap your text so that you can read the headings. You can delete columns that you don't need when you get the data from other sources. You can average out your sources and get your data so that you can see how your students are faring within this program. Thank you so much.